What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Let's get right into it. And this story takes us to Centinela State Prison. There, the Long Beach car had a bloody go at it. Let's call this guy Keys, because he had the keys to the Long Beach car. He was indeed the shot caller. Indisputable. He stayed to himself. He was making money on the yard, but he did not really converse with too many people. I saw him with the same 2 or 3 people every day. For the most part, he just stayed in his cell and stayed real low key. But he did had the keys to the Long Beach car. He was the shot caller. He was from 20s. And you probably think, well, he calling shots for insanes too, and he from 20s. The Long Beach car is one. They're in prison. Regardless if their enemy goes on the street or not, pretty much they're in prison. They're one car. And he was the shot caller for this car. It was a few dudes from Insane that were there on the yard, and they were strong dudes. One of them was also getting money, bringing in stuff through the visiting area. And he had respect on the yard. Now, his cousin, let's call him Skinny Loke, because he was real skinny, but he was indeed a Loke. He too was from Insane. He pulled up on the yard a few months after I was on the yard, and Keys was there, and another dude from Insane. Now, come to find out, Skinny Loke and the other dude from Insane were cousins. And everything was going fine on the yard. Skinny Loke came and he had saw blood, a Damu, that he had got into it with in the Los Angeles County Jail, and told him that he needed that squabble, that they had to fight, even though he's very skinny. And he's not that tall. And he had braids, tattoos on his face. In fact, he had tattoos on his whole body. And he squabbled up the Damu dude right there on the yard, because he said he needed that. So Skinny Loke hit the yard putting in work. But he too minded his own business, and he didn't really bother anybody. Now, the Long Beach car used to work out together, as do most cars. And they used to work out in Centinela. It gets very hot, extremely hot in Centinela. 117 degrees, 118 degrees, 119 degrees. At 3 in the morning, it'll be 100 degrees. The cells, as you can imagine then, are extremely hot. You need 3 or 4 fans in there to try to cool yourself off. You're in there sweating like a damn dog. People are known to pass out in Centinela from a heat stroke or dehydration right there on the yard constantly. Back in these days, this was in 1997. Now, in 1998, they got a little bit better with this, giving us ice and this and that there in Centinela. Again, I just paroled from Centinela April 19, 2022. Going on 3 years of being home in April. Fucking go. And so, it's extremely hot there in Centinela. And when the Long Beach car used to work out together, do their burpees right there in the day room or on the yard, Skinny Loke always kept his shirt on. Now, nobody's thinking anything of that. I never took my shirt off in prison. I bust down right there on the yard, which means work out. I work out right there on the yard, do my burpees with the homies, pushing hard, and never took my shirt off. Even in my cell when I did my burpees, I never took my shirt off. So this is not foreign. This is not a new thing. Him keeping his shirt on. Now, I don't know if it was because of his tattoos or he was just keeping his shirt on. But one day, there in the day room, apparently it was too hot for him to keep his damn shirt on doing those burpees. So he took his shirt off. And Keys is right there running the workout. He's out front, and everyone else is right there against the wall, and they're doing their burpees. When he took his shirt off and he went down for his burpees, you can see clearly on his back a big 20K 20s, 20 Crips, Long Beach 20s, crossed out with a K, which means killer, 20 killer. For those who may not know. You put HK for Hoover Killer, BK for Blood Killer, CK for Crip Killer. It's the K behind it, which means they're your opposition. They're your enemies, for those who may not be familiar with the gang culture. So he has a big 20K, and it's colored in, blocked up, big as hell on his back. You can't miss it. You can see it clear. Now, I've told you before, they're in prison. If you have your enemigo's hood crossed out somewhere on your body, you're going to get into a situation. They're going to have a problem with that, with you walking around displaying this tattoo with their hood crossed out with a big K next to it. I've told you about situations where people have gotten into it over that. Someone recently got airlifted over this same situation. Keys, he sees the tattoo and he's automatically perturbed. He's vexed. He's upset. And you can see them down there in the day room arguing. Keys and Skinny Low. I was inside of my cell, but come to find out what the argument was about, of course, was that Skinny Low has this tattoo with Keys' hood crossed out. And he took his shirt off and they were over there working out. So Keys tells him, bro, you got to put your shirt back on. I understand you from Insane, and we all got our tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Most gangbangers got tattoos with their opposition hood crossed out. That's just how it is. So this is not foreign. It's not a new thing, and whatever. I'm not even gonna hold it against you, because that's just gangbanging. Got that somewhere on the street. But now we're inside of this prison, and you can't be walking around with your shirt off with my hood crossed out. How's that gonna look? I'm walking around the yard with you, and you got my hood crossed out, and you walking around with your shirt off with my hood crossed out now, bro. But Skinny Low, being a man, told him, I ain't putting my shirt back on, bro. It is what it is. Because why get the tattoo if you gonna hide it? And now he feels affronted. And he feels like he has to defend himself, because publicly this dude just told him, put your shirt back on. And if he actually puts his shirt back on, that's not going to look good on his part. He understands this. So he said, nah. But Keys said, all right, bro, it's all good. You took your shirt off and all that. We working out. But for now on, doing our workouts, bro, you got to keep your shirt on. Period. I got tattoos disrespecting y'all hood too. I ain't got my shirt off, bro. You feel me? That's it. It's just a respect thing. I don't know. This is a tricky one. Keys is a shot caller. He's about that life. He's not a coward. You can't be a coward if you're going to be the shot caller amongst a bunch of men. Strong individuals, gangbangers, tattooed up, locked up for unalivings and brutal beatings, vicious stabbings. We talking about some uncouth men. Neanderthal inclined men. Who don't really take direction from anyone. So if you're going to be the shot caller for these men, you have to be a strong individual. And he is. But Skinny Loc, he's not going for it. Now, Skinny Loc and his cousin got together and began to plot. This is a no-win situation. A combustible situation indeed. It's inevitable that there is about to be a clash. Well, Keys has already told him to keep his shirt on, which indicates, it denotes that if he takes his shirt off again in his presence, something's going to happen. Skinny Loc is in a no-win situation because he can't keep his shirt on now. You didn't threaten me that if I take it off, basically, it's going to go up. And I can't keep it on now. Everybody going to say I got marked out. This dude walking around the yard won't even take his shirt off. So he's not going to go for that. So he's going to take his shirt off. We are all anticipating this. And Keys is going to do something. Skinny Loc understood this, and so did his cousin. So they got together and said, let's just get to this dude first. That was a smart thing to do. But they didn't follow through with that necessarily. A couple of days later, now it's yard time, not day room. On the yard, the Long Beach car is working out. Business as usual. Every car is in their own spot there on the yard working out. Everyone has to stay strong and prepared. Skinny Loc, he's not a part of the workout. The workout is pretty much mandatory. You have to be involved in this. Your whole car is working out. Skinny Loc, he's not involved. Instead, he's walking around the track. And at the time, he has his shirt on. The Long Beach car is working out. People are watching Skinny Loc. We all know what has happened. We all see him with his shirt on. The Long Beach car is just over there working out. That would have been the opportune time for Skinny Loc and his cousin to attack Keys. Stab him up. This is what I thought was going to happen. This is what I was anticipating. But instead, Skinny Loc, after walking a few laps, upon one of his last laps, he took his shirt off and walked over there to the Long Beach car where they were working out. He took it off and walked right over there, right up on Keys, basically. This was a mistake because you know that he's about to attack you once you take your shirt off. You should have just attacked him first, you and your cousin. I thought this is what they were planning when they were having their sinister machinations and plotting on how to get Keys. But instead, he just challenged him by taking his shirt off. And Keys, he fired on Skinny Loc. Bam! He didn't say a word. Skinny Loc is too small. He cannot withstand a powerful punch. Keys is not a little dude. In fact, he's about 6'1". He a little on the skinnier side, but more like cut up. He got a little size on him, cut up. And Skinny Loc he like 5'4", 5'5", like 100 pounds, bro. 90 pounds or some shit. I'm serious as hell. Skinny as fuck. Man ain't got a chance. I know everyone says size doesn't matter. But I beg to differ. He punched him. Bam, he hit the ground. He didn't have a chance. He could not withstand such a powerful punch. This is where they made their miscalculation. Knowing that you're going to take your shirt off, knowing it's about to be on, just attack this dude first. Don't give him a chance to attack you because you can't handle it. You're too small. And he dropped him. But then his cousin, Skinny Loc's cousin, he rushed Keys immediately. He was right there. He rushed him. Skinny Loc got up and tried to rush him too. You know, he tried to pack him out a little bit. But Skinny Loc, he was still dazed. He was trying to swing though. He was out of it though. He got up though and was trying to swing. But his cousin, he had a little size too. And he was with that shit. He was about that life. He was squabbling. They was squabbling on the yard. Keys and the young homie from Insane, old Skinny Loc's cousin, they was squabbling hard. He was mad that he just dropped his cousin and telling his cousin that he, has to walk around the yard with his shirt on. They squabbled him down and they removed Keys from the yard. Because once you get packed out, again, they're going to remove you. It's like you're the victim. Once it's a 2-on-1 upon your person. So they removed him from the yard. And that was it. But that's what happens in prison. I've told you guys before. If you hit prison, people were asking about Crip Mac and all of that. He has these disrespectful tattoos. And will he survive in prison with said tattoos? Dissing someone's hood. Well, that depends on what yard you go, where you're at. chances are there's going to be a situation. There have been many situations over this very thing, many, in prison, in YA, in the county jail, you name it. People walking around. Now, some of these dudes had these tattoos on their face, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can't cover it up. But if you have it on your body and you're walking around with your shirt off, and that car is there, and that car is strong, yeah, it's going to be a problem. That's it. It's going to go up, as it did here, and as it's done many other times, and as it will happen in the future. That's it. I'll be back. In the meantime, stay free, people.